Right, morning everyone. Beautiful rainy morning in Shropshire. So I'm just out riding the bike, nice steady one today. I thought I'd go through some of the mods I've done to my T7. The great thing about T7s is everyone is modding them in one way or another to suit themselves. Now this may, well it will, be a bit controversial, but I've gone single front disc on the front, removed the caliper and the disc. Yep, I know I've invalidated my insurance. I know Yamaha know best, and they put twin discs on for a reason, but my main type of riding is off-road. Yamaha have made this bike to suit everyone, from touring the world to up to this sort of stuff what I do. So in my opinion, a single disc is plenty good enough for me. Now the advantage is unsprung weight. I've reduced the weight, I think it was about 1.5 kilos, so that off the bottom of your fork does make a little bit of difference. Again, people will disagree. Another thing is, it's just a nicer feel when you're off-road. It's not so sharp. I know I could have perhaps changed my pads to do that, but you know, I've taken the caliper and the disc off. It can go back on, it's not a great problem. I've got a mate down Wiltshire, Wacky. He did the same. He did it first. He's 6'7", probably 17 stone, and he rides like Evil Knievel on acid. He's done, I think, 13,000 miles now on his bike, single disc, not a problem. So yeah, it's what we've done. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but it didn't cost anything and it can all go back on. Another thing I've done is taking the ABS fuse out pretty well straight away when I had the bike. I'm not a fan of ABS. I know, again, I've had people call me an idiot, a dickhead, whatever. ABS is brilliant, but I don't like it myself. I come from a time, you know, back in the noughties, riding super bikes, brakes as wooden as you like, so you ride appropriately to suit. Another thing to note is, like ABS on a motorbike, the MOT, a non-working ABS is only an advisory on an MOT. The only bike I have had with ABS was a BMW 800, and it didn't actually work. And on the MOT it was an advisory. It may have changed, that was a couple of years ago, but so yeah, so that's the two sort of things people moan about when I tell them. The single disc and the ABS, I always get bombarded with safety, safety, safety. So right, we're going to go down this little lane now, and then I'll pull over somewhere and stop, and we'll have a look around the bike. Nice little lane, this one, very slippy this morning, but yeah, we'll just have a quick rip down. Got some ramblers by the side of the track there up on the field, so we just go steady. Don't want to give them any more ammunition than they've already got. So we're head south from here, down through South Shropshire. A few easy trails, and we'll pull up somewhere and have a walk around the bike. Oh, like I say, the great thing about these T7s is everyone is modding them. We've all got our opinions on what's best and what's not. Oh, and my bike's evolving all the time. quite like this weather. So, right, we're going to find somewhere to pull up and have a good look round the bike. So, there she is. Now if we start from the front, now obviously you can see the disc and caliper have gone off this side. I've had a ring made to bolt to the hub just to protect the lugs when I do want to put the twin disc setup back. The lugs should be alright. Mate of mine, Wacky, he actually knocked a lug off. He runs single disc and knocked a lug off on a rock. So front rim XL stainless spokes. I lace them up at Christmas time. Everyone knows the spokes, standard spokes, corrode and the rims are a bit chocolate. Replaced the tube with a heavy duty. It's not ultra heavy duty. I have heard they run too hot, so it's heavy duty. It's a lot better than the condom that Yamaha put in them originally. Moto Z Tractionator tyre. It's a bit worn now, but it's been pretty good. Bit of Krieger pull strap. Everyone on an adventure bike has to have Krieger. It's the unwritten rule. You're not an adventure rider until you get Krieger, but this one was a freebie from years ago when I did the Tough One Enduro. Krieger sponsored it and everyone who rode got one of them. That's about 15 years old now, if not a bit more. Good bit of kit. Forks, I've put preload spacer in. I can't remember what height, but it has helped a bit with the static sag. And I've had a revalve by ERS suspension at Wrexham, Andy Jarvis, good lad, does all my enduro suspension for me. So they are a bit more compliant. I don't think they're ever going to be brilliant unless I change to like rally raid internals. They basically are an old motocross fork, 43mm, you know, put in a big bike. Yamaha had to cut costs somewhere, so I think they did it there. I think it's a power bronze headlight protector. You know, headlights look great on these, but shit, I wouldn't want to break it. Beta RR indicators off one of my old race bikes. They do the job. When they break, I'll probably replace them with a LED option. Zeta handguards, again off an old race bike of mine. I had in the shed. They do the job pretty good. I've tucked my 21-inch tube up here out the way, and that stops the vibration in the dash, so that works quite well. Behind this side panel I've got a crutch, cut down crutch to use as a prop when I need to get the wheels out. I also modded the electrics as such. This side I took the plastic shroud off that holds the wiring loom and put all the electrical connectors up behind the headstock in a bit of a void in the frame there. Tucked them up well out the way there, and also raised the ABS pump up by about 10mm on rubber tap washers, so now I can access the plugs all from this side. I did do a video June last year when I first did the mod, and I can actually go from the bike being like this with the side panels on, everything, to getting the plugs out in about 4 minutes, which is, you know, you need that if you're out on these trails and you're driving your bike. So it didn't cost anything, it's just time to strip it down, but you can get the plugs out now without taking the tank off and all that malarkey. so that worthwhile free mod. Sump guard and exhaust, they were both made by a mate of mine. I brought this bike back in June last year and did 400 miles, then I went into hospital and had a new hip, so I was out of action for a while. So the bike went to my mate's house and we designed the sump guard and exhaust system, well, exhaust mod, and did that. The sump guard is 3mm with 6mm through the bottom. I think he's made a pretty good job of that, to be fair. It's all nice and tight, sits in nice. Good lad. RNG engine covers, and I've got a little bit of this here is just some old plastic bumper off a car stuffed down to protect the water pipes. Now, I don't run crash bars. I've done 6,000 miles now on this, just over, and come off it a hell of a lot, and I haven't even scratched the panel yet. To me, the RNG plastic engine covers are very important. With a rocky ride, and I do, you fall down a rock and pierce your engine case, you're stuffed. Like, yeah, I could fall off and damage my radiator without the engine bars, but I do like the slimness of the bike without engine bars. I have seen a few cases where engine bars have actually damaged the frame or even cracked engine casings, so I probably will at some point come off and damage something and regret not having engine bars, but at the moment I haven't needed them. Now, the exhaust system is Delkovic decatted exhaust system. Now, this bike I brought with 250 miles on it, and the previous owner had lent it to Delkovic, and they used this bike to do the prototype exhaust. I don't know if they're available yet. A nice bit of kit, a bit loud, but yeah, big weight saving. So yeah, the original Delkovic system came through, and as standard came on the normal hanger here. So me and my mate looked at that and thought, well, we got time, I'm laid up, so we'll do a mod. And we cut the hanger off, welded some lugs on the frame up behind the side panel there, and he made a link pipe and we bolted that on, and it works really well. I can still get rear foot pegs on there, not a problem. And we kept the original hanger and welded some lugs on that, and that can be bolted back on the frame now, and I could put a complete standard, which I've got at home, system back on it if needed. So that's a worthwhile mod we did there. I made 10mm lowering links. 10mm doesn't sound a lot, but I'm quite short, so it helps. I dropped the forks through a bit as well. It's worth noting that even with 10mm and the forks drop through, it does still sit quite high, because of the tyre. Being a 140/80, the original is a 150/70, I think. When you put them side by side, they are quite a bit higher. And also, I've got the Rally Raid spring on the back, and now I've got my sag set correctly, so the bike is sitting up in its stroke. It's quite a bit higher than standard, so dropping it just by 10mm has just helped a bit with confidence. The rear, I've laced on XL again, a 2.50 rim, and I'm running New Tech tubeless system. Again, it's a leftover from my enduro bike, the tubeless system. There's plenty on the internet about tubeless, love or hate them sort of thing, but basically now that is converted to a tubeless rear with a rim lock. I've run that down as low as 10 psi without a problem. They are supposed to be for 2.25 rims, but it works fine in this 2.50, and I have been up to 100 miles an hour without issues, no wobbles, nothing. Obviously that 100 miles an hour was in my garden and not on the main roads. I've also, just think about it, extended my clutch arm down here. I welded a piece in, 5mm or 10 mil actually I think it was, and bent this in a bit. It's made a little bit of difference, but not drastically. You know, I don't think I'll bother again. Tail tidy, that's homemade, bit of aluminium, old number plate, motocross number plate I cut up and bent. I've got CRF copy chain guide, £10 off eBay, mounted on a bit of 6mm aluminium angle. That works well. Orangey cover again this side. Right, we'll have a look under the seat. So in this bag, the old Lomo bag, cheap as chips, 2 of them, £50, just over I paid. Brilliant bag. So in there I've got a little compressor, cable ties, duct tape, Araldite, odds and sods. Here I've got some more tapes, tyre levers, the seat. I've done the old mod where you just turn your top hats upside down. So that's quick release. First aid kit, toe strap, tools here to get the plugs out, and I'm running a foam uni filter. You know, I don't like paper filters, so that's quick and easy mod. So getting your seat on and off. It is quite tight with all the stuff I got on. Twin USB down here, Oxford heated grips mounted there, quite nice. Cut the levers down because I bent the ends of the levers. I did buy the cheap Chinese bling looking fold up levers, but to be honest they're absolute crap, and they just don't feel right. I've actually broke the back of me mud guard off, the rock got caught. Still running standard foot pegs, they're okay. I see a lot of people stick like really wide big rally pegs on and then getting caught in all the ruts. I will look around for some standard motocross YZ WR pegs I think and put on. So I think that's just about covered it. I haven't gone yet with the old must-have double take mirrors on the adventure bikes. At the moment that one's alright. Might come a time where I hit it that way up and break this, I don't know. So there she is. I say a lot of the mods are freebies. They're just tinkering in the shed. A lot of people won't agree with getting rid of the ABS and getting rid of the disc on the front. You know, each to their own. If I was touring Europe, it'd be a different setup, but this suits what I do at the moment. So there she is. I'll go for a bit more of a ride now and then go home and get some breakfast.